Nicola and her partner Jessie experienced something downright frightening. The couple had been fast asleep for over an hour when Nicola was suddenly jolted awake by the unmistakable sound of the refrigerator door swinging open. She glanced beside her. Jessie was still fast asleep. So, armed with only her phone and a rising sense of dread, Nicola decided to investigate the source herself. Here's the footage she captured.
Jesse, you left the fridge open. Holy shit. Oh my god. What's going on? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
The scene in the kitchen looked straight out of a supernatural horror movie. Every detail screamed haunted. What's shocking is that she didn't even bother to wake Jessie despite the very real possibility of a break-in. Instead, she ventured in alone, showing remarkable courage, or possibly recklessness. If this was a ghost, it might have been the least dangerous option, because anything else lurking there could have had far worse intentions. Now, Nicola's facing a terrifying new challenge, figuring out how to get rid of whatever dark force she might have invited in. Luke had always felt that something didn't sit right in his home, but he never gave it too much thought. His attention was usually on his mischievous cat, Bear, who had a reputation for toppling objects and stirring up chaos at night. To monitor the late-night antics, Luke set up several CCTV cameras, not with any ghost in mind, just to keep an eye on Bear's behavior. But one night, exactly at 11:30 p.m., he received a camera alert that made him pause, and what he saw would shake him to the core. The video shows Bear slowly creeping toward a teddy bear that had remained untouched for hours. Just as the cat gets close, the teddy's arm subtly twitches. Then the entire stuffed toy suddenly collapses to the floor. Bear freezes mid-step, staring intently at the fallen object, visibly rattled by what just happened. Luke played the clip over and over, searching for a logical cause, but nothing added up. No open windows, no wires, no possible trigger. Now convinced something supernatural might be at play, Luke is seriously thinking about contacting a paranormal expert, because something in that house isn't right. Layla was watching her favorite series, enjoying another peaceful night at home. Everything felt perfectly normal, until she noticed the closet door creaking open ever so slowly, all on its own. Assuming it was nothing more than a draft or a faulty hinge, she got up, firmly closed it, and listened for the click as it latched. But a strange feeling lingered in the air. Trusting her instincts, she picked up her phone and started recording, just in case something bizarre happened again.
Well, the door opened up a few minutes ago, So while I was laying down, so we don't see if it's going to open again, I closed it and got back in the bed. And hopefully it is shut for tonight. I just end up getting out my bed a minute ago and shutting it. So let's see. There we go, y'all. Looky. I'm in my bed. And there she goes. So I'm going to have to end up putting a towel in it, or she's going to keep opening it up all night. But I'm in my bed, as you can see. It opened up again by itself.
In the video, Layla is calmly explaining what had just happened, when suddenly the closet door begins to move again, this time swinging fully open. But behind it, nothing. No shadows, no movement, just darkness and stillness. Layla stands frozen, her eyes locked on the doorway, waiting in silence for whatever might follow. But the room remains eerily quiet. Later, while re-watching the footage, she felt a cold wave of fear, realizing she had definitely shut and latched that door. Since that night, she keeps her phone beside her while sleeping and even seals the closet door shut with tape. Whatever opened that door, she doesn't want to see it again. Kaidnat, better known as Kai, ranks among the biggest live streamers on the internet. He's gained a reputation for constantly delivering viral clips. Some even claim he intentionally seeks out wild moments just to entertain. But the footage we're about to revisit felt disturbingly real. It happened back in 2023, during one of Kai's casual Twitch sessions, where he was chatting with viewers like usual. What he didn't realize was that something else had decided to join the stream that night. Let's take a look.
Bro, come on, bro.
Out of nowhere, the door behind him slowly creaked open, unnaturally slow, as if moved by unseen hands. Whatever it was, it clearly made its presence known. Kai, visibly rattled, looked like he was ready to leap from his chair, but stayed glued to his seat, likely trying to keep the show going for his audience. The entire moment etched itself into his memory. Creepy, unexplainable, unforgettable. And even now, no one watching that night has been able to explain it in any normal way, except perhaps as a genuine case of paranormal activity. On March 24, 2025, a man named Miguel was working an overnight shift as a security guard at an abandoned elementary school on the outskirts of Managua, Nicaragua. Though the school had been deserted for over a year, it still held valuable items the owner intended to sell. So Miguel was hired to protect the property, as well as care for the 4 stray dogs that had made it their home. But long before it was a school, the land served a darker purpose. It had been a refuge during the Nicaraguan Civil War. Just beyond the school's edge, countless soldiers were burned alive. One quiet night, while walking his usual patrol route, Miguel spotted something unsettling in one of the classrooms and snapped a photo. In the image, behind a crumbling wall, a pale and haunting face appears to be watching him. Shaken, Miguel continued working but decided to document more of his night shift. On a later night, he began recording a full walkthrough of the school grounds. And what his camera captured next was bone-chilling.
Sí da miedo. De hecho, por aquí inicio porque por acá me queda cerca la torre de control. Si veo algo o me pasa algo acá, yo salgo corriendo a mi torre de control y ahí me enllavo. Pero como les seguía diciendo, este lugar es un poco sano. Probablemente se vaya a abrir. ¿Ves? Ahí está, sabía yo. Siempre a esta hora se abre.
In the video, a ghostly face peeks from behind a doorway, and not long after, another door creaks open entirely on its own. But that wasn't the worst of it. The very next night, something far more disturbing happened, and Miguel caught it on film. Watch carefully.
Entonces, ¿qué es eso que se escucha? ¿Qué es eso que se escucha? Bueno. Hola, 100 puta. Hola, 100 puta.
A dark, fast-moving shadow darts directly toward him from the upper level. Panic gripped him. Miguel took several nights off, trying to shake the fear from his system, but the terror wasn't finished with him. When he returned to his post, he kept the camera rolling, and the school's energy had only grown darker.
Y esta sería la última aula que reviso en el rondín. Ah, como pueden ver, pues está un poco descuidada porque aquí han guardado las cosas que el colegio antes usaba. Me escuché algo, pero no sé qué fue. Bueno, fue la 100 puta. Uy, fue la 100 puta. No jodas. Ojalá que lo haya grabado. Ojalá que lo haya grabado.
As he passed by a row of classrooms, a lone chair dragged itself across the floor behind him. Miguel bolted, running to the far side of the property, completely refusing to approach that area again. But days later, while making another round, the terror escalated even further. The overhead lights began to flicker, and then something truly horrifying was caught on video.
Uy, que ando tartamudo del asustado que estoy. Ahora mira, mira cuando yo me alejo. Mira. Mira, mira, ¿ya viste? Mira. Ahora mira cuando me acerco. Mira. Nada. 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 Ahora mira ahorita que es que estoy tartamudeando.
A loud, violent bang struck the window next to him, so forceful it nearly shattered the glass. Miguel had reached his breaking point. He compiled every video and photo and took them to his employer, demanding backup for his shifts. He could no longer endure the torment of being alone in that haunted place. Whether it was the ghost of a fallen soldier, a lingering spirit, or something far more malevolent, that's for you to decide. A TikTok account under the name Ram7 contains just one chilling upload, and it's more than enough. On the day it was filmed, Ram had been skipping class and decided to hide out in the school bathroom. To stay unnoticed, he flipped off the lights and sat quietly in the dark. But, after a few minutes, a strange noise echoed from inside one of the stalls, immediately grabbing his attention. Nervous but curious, he took out his phone and began recording. And what he caught on camera made him flee in terror.
Nah, y'all ever been in a bathroom skipping alone, bro? This shit is crazy. I'm in here, bro, just alone. And it's like mad weird, bro, cause like, what if there was some monster or some shit just pop up on me? That shit would be crazy, bro. But I don't know. Like, there's nobody in here. You could come out and shit. I don't even know, bro, but yeah, there's nobody right here, bro, but this shit's crazy, bro. I don't know, but that shit's mad weird. What the f? What the f?
He scanned the stalls one by one, realizing he appeared to be completely alone. Or so it seemed. But then, the final stall door slowly creaked open by itself. A jet-black hand reached from inside, only to pull the door shut again. And just as Ram froze in shock, a pale, ghastly face shot forward without warning. That horrifying moment was all it took. Ram turned and sprinted out, completely panicked. Safe to say, next time, he might think twice before ditching class. While relaxing at home one evening, David Calastio couldn't shake the uneasy feeling creeping over him. There was nothing obvious, no noise, no lights flickering, just an overwhelming sense that something was off. Trying to brush it aside, he decided to check his outdoor security cameras for peace of mind. But instead of comfort, what he saw on the screen nearly made his heart stop. A strange figure was wandering through his backyard.
Ano na mga gawas na yan?
Itong pag-lighter po, saan eh? First time ko po ano din.
First time ni mo nakakita yung kakaiba?
Ikaw, dili, sige na ka?
Ikaduha ini.
Asa yung first time mo?
Ang high school lang.
Atong sa...
Tuman,
Sige, pana.
on na ito. 3, 4, 5. Unang usaha gawas.
At first glance, it resembled the silhouette of a small child. But what child would be walking alone through someone's yard in the dead of night? Even more disturbing was the way it moved, unnaturally smooth, as if it were gliding rather than walking. Sure, skeptics might claim it's just video editing or some clever AI trickery. But what if it's not? What if this is actual evidence that something inhuman, something paranormal, is out there, watching us from the shadows? At around 3 a.m., Zihan was deep in sleep when an unusual noise suddenly snapped him awake. He assumed it might be the wind rattling the windows or an old floorboard creaking. But the strange sound didn't stop. Nervous but curious, he got up, crept out of his room and cautiously headed downstairs toward the kitchen to investigate.
Hey. 靠背啊！操，我他妈岔气的！看那边有声音，那边有声音。不可能是风吧？靠背啊！阿没拍谁哦？哥弟，你有看到吗？你有看到有人躲在那边的歌曲有打有。哎，有人吗？哎，不好意思啊，阿北，如果你不欢迎我的话，你可以出声吗？打扰了。我操！靠北，我才刚开播啊，大哥！阿北，对不起哦，我不口渴啊。你别请我吃凉的好不好？老来嘞，歹势。有电吗？
The moment he stepped inside, the refrigerator door began swinging open and slamming shut repeatedly, like something unseen was forcing it. Zihan stood in shock, completely frozen, watching as if the fridge had become possessed. His hands trembled while recording, and his shaky voice gave away just how terrified he truly was. Since that incident, he hasn't been able to sleep well and avoids going downstairs once the sun sets. He's even tried unplugging the fridge several times, hoping it was just a faulty motor. But the eerie activity still continues. Now Zihan is thinking seriously about contacting a paranormal investigator because whatever presence is haunting that home, it clearly wants attention. In the Bigfoot subreddit, a user going by the name Uniqued1000 uploaded a video that's been stirring up serious buzz among cryptid hunters and paranormal enthusiasts. The footage shows a serene yet shadowy stretch of forest captured during twilight hours. Location unknown. At first, everything is still and unremarkable. But around the 15-second mark, the cameraman zooms in, and that's when the mystery begins to unfold.
Are you joking right now? Look at these nails, peoples.
A shadowy figure emerges, weaving silently through the trees. Its movements are calculated, nervous even, as if it's scanning for any sign of danger or human presence. Though it's impossible to tell whether it spotted the camera, there's a clear sense that it's aware of something nearby. Could this be an authentic sighting of the legendary Bigfoot? The tall, broad silhouette mirrors countless eyewitness descriptions of the elusive cryptid. Unfortunately, the trees obscure any detailed eye view, leaving the identity of the figure unresolved. Still, it's the kind of eerie encounter that keeps the Bigfoot legend alive. So, what's your verdict? A genuine glimpse of a mysterious creature, or just another illusion in the woods? A mother stood quietly in her daughter's bedroom, casually messaging a realtor about a property she was interested in purchasing. At that moment, everything seemed perfectly normal. But when she later reviewed footage from the Nanny cam, what initially made her smile, a clip of her young daughter sweetly waving at the camera, took a disturbing turn. That's when she heard something deeply unsettling hidden in the audio. According to her, this wasn't the first sign of supernatural activity in the home. She's been dealing with eerie occurrences ever since she was expecting her child. Here's what the camera recorded. Faint but chilling, heavy breathing echoes through the audio, followed by a soft, tormented voice repeatedly whispering, "Help me." The mother insists this wasn't a digital glitch or a hack. She's confident the camera system is secure. Any breach would have triggered her two-factor alerts and audible speaker activation. So what kind of paranormal entity is desperately calling out from beyond? Is it a trapped spirit? A demonic presence? That's for you to decide. Jerry Bruce has endured years of intense supernatural torment. For 12 long years, his previous home was plagued with unrelenting paranormal activity, so disturbing that he eventually had no choice but to move out. He couldn't even sell the haunted property, which left him with a crushing financial burden. Still, he thought it was a fair price to pay for a fresh start, one free from ghosts and disturbances. But what Jerry didn't realize was that the entity wasn't tied to the house. It was tied to him. By his third night in the new home, Jerry finally felt at peace. The silence, the normalcy, it was refreshing. Until that moment, when the spirit made sure he knew it had followed him, and that every dollar spent trying to escape it had been for nothing.
know if everybody can see this, and I've done it. I don't know about y'all, but I'm getting the hell out of here.
While some skeptics argue that the door handle simply slipped or was loose, the timing and context make that explanation hard to accept. There are always those who deny the paranormal, who laugh off ghosts and spirits as fiction. But Jerry doesn't have that luxury. He's living proof that some things, no matter how far you run, will follow you. This chilling video comes from a woman named Lisa, who had already come to terms with the fact that something ghostly was occupying her home. It all started 2 weeks before this footage was taken, when she first heard a single, deliberate knock on her bedroom window. Exactly 10 seconds later, her room erupted into unexplained chaos, the unmistakable sign of a paranormal disturbance. Though she hoped it was a one-time event, the knocking returned, day after day, and each time, just 10 seconds later, the supernatural activity would strike again. Determined to capture proof of the haunting, Lisa decided that the next time the knocking returned, she'd film whatever followed. This is what her camera recorded.
We are here now to observe paranormal activities. Apparently, at the moment... Oh, there we go. It started. As you can see, the window is closed. The door is also closed, even though there is no door. And now, still, we're observing unnatural movements. Oh my God.
A chair shifting on its own, with no person or even shadow anywhere near it. It was obvious that no physical force had touched it. Lisa had been convinced the entity wouldn't show itself on camera, that maybe it would stay hidden. Feeling oddly relieved, she stopped the recording, thinking she had dodged another scare. She posted the clip online, but strangely, there have been no follow-up posts from her since. No new footage, no explanations, nothing. On September 29th, 2011, Sean Wheatcroft and a fellow student, both living in the same off-campus house, set out to capture evidence of a poltergeist said to be tormenting the home. Their shared residence, located in Leicester, housed 8 students in total, all of whom had become increasingly convinced that some kind of ghostly presence had taken hold. But when it came time to try and film the entity, most of their housemates were too spooked to take part, leaving Sean and his brave friend to carry out the chilling experiment alone. What you're about to see is their attempt to confront the supernatural.
Right, just run down here. Really, Julie, if someone down here can use bang or tap. Tap a couple of times.
I'm putting them like that because they're easier to move then. Can you move any of these 2 glasses? They're really easy to move now, they're on the side. So if you can just push them at all.
Oh my God!
Oh,
Turn the light on, man.
Initially, the glassware remained still, leading Sean to believe that the upright position made it harder for any spirit to manipulate. But when he placed the glasses horizontally, something strange happened. One of them slowly shifted. This subtle but undeniable movement sent shivers down the spines of both men, and later, thousands of viewers who watched the footage online. Now, the students living in the haunted home have reached out to Leicester University for guidance on dealing with the disturbing activity. But so far, their cries for help have been met with little more than silence. A TikTok profile known as SC486111 is mostly a haven of wholesome content. Videos filled with playful cats, tiny animals, and all things adorable. But buried among the cheerful posts is one that breaks the mold entirely. While the account owner was away on vacation, they received a motion alert from their home security system. What they saw in the footage made their blood run cold. Just beyond the white fence line, something eerie was caught on camera. A shadowy figure could be seen flitting through the neighbor's driveway, its movements quick, twitchy, and far too erratic for a normal person. The speed and strange rhythm of the motion didn't look human. In fact, it was deeply unnatural and downright disturbing. And as it turns out, this wasn't a one-time sighting. In a separate recording, the same dark figure appears again, this time entering from the left side of the screen. It creeps toward a parked car before repeating that bizarre, side-to-side lurching motion. It's as if the thing was inspecting the area, watching. Whatever it is, it's not just creepy. It's curious and far too comfortable being caught on camera.